Baron Walter Louis Davis, born April 13, 1979. The sad but triumphant career of Baron Davis. Of the 400 plus features I've done, I don't think I've covered a player quite like Baron Davis. As you already know, injury in sports can easily be the number one growth stunt that can hinder a player from becoming what he should have or was expected to be. But rarely do you see a guy that's dealt with injuries since early in his high school career and still turn out to be the third overall pick, two-time All-Star, All-NBA third team, lead the league in steals, and create some of the most exciting moments in recent basketball memory. Baron Davis was one of a kind. Like my last feature, Larry Hughes, I also struggled to feature him because I really don't think he had a letdown of a career at all. And besides the things we'll discuss, many think his career was exactly what it should have been and is above averagely respectable. But time and time again, I get a request for him, just as Larry Hughes. So in bringing to you 3 reasons I think Baron's ultimate growth was stunted, I'll also talk about the reasons I think he was actually a great player, that had he managed to scrape a championship or two, he may have even been in Hall of Fame consideration. What I do agree with is that had the following things not happened, he could have had a lot better career and possibly be one of the game's greats. Here are 3 reasons Baron Davis's growth was stunted. Salute to Mr. Gambit 3190 on IG for this request. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Baron Davis was a 6'3" point guard from Los Angeles, California that became a star all throughout high school. He transferred to the prestigious Crossroads in Santa Monica with the encouragement of his grandmother in order to get a better education and be away from the violence and negative influence within the South Central community. By his junior year, Baron had grew to a height that began to show his potential, along with his game maturing after attending a few high-level camps across the country. He led Crossroads to the CIF championships that year, but due to lack of focus and underestimating the competition, fell in the state championship. As a senior, Davis really took a leap as a basketball player and began to carve his name as one of the top prospects in the country. His Crossroads team was invited to the biggest tournament in the country at the time, the Myrtle Beach Ball Classic, where against the top competition at his position and around it, he led his team to the championship, winning by 1 point over powerhouse Simon Gratz and their big-name stars Marvin O'Connor and Jared Kearse.
Good, you know, you can't take that away from him, but one man can't be the team.
He finished with 28 points and was named the tournament MVP. The high school success continued for Davis when he was named a McDonald's All-American, where he won the slam dunk competition and later the Gatorade National Player of the Year in a 97 class that featured many names that went on to shape the following generation of hoopers. What's up, guys? Become a patron now. There you can find exclusive workouts, move breakdowns, and tutorials to help your development in certain areas. Also, receive consulting each week with me where I help break down your game and build you into the player you want to become. Patreon.com/stuntedgrowth for more. Link is in the description. Enjoy the video. Stunt number 1 at 85%. Baron Davis did all that, in my opinion, without even being at a full 100% health. As you'll see from his past documentaries, he's dealt with knee injuries, as far as I can tell, dating back to his junior year in high school. Rewatching the McDonald's All-American game, you can see him favor his knee from time to time, and in most of his games beginning from his junior season, you can see him wear a knee brace to help the pain. In those days, kids didn't wear those for fashion like they do today. You wore one because it was for a reason. Also in those days, playing on outside courts was something many inner city kids did, and may be the reason guys like he and Randy Livingston dealt with such injuries so early, but that's all highly speculatory. What we do know is that the apparent knee injury didn't stop Davis, as he became the top point guard recruit that chose to stay close to home and attend UCLA over Kansas, Duke, and Georgia Tech. There, the injuries continued when he tore his ACL in the NCAA tournament, landing unfavorably after a slam dunk. Like his entire career story, he was able to quickly bounce back from the injury and still have the explosion, athleticism, and speed he had before, and after a successful sophomore season where he was a third-team All-American, he declared for the NBA draft and was taken third overall by the Charlotte Hornets. His career with the Hornets didn't start as you'd expect a top 3 pick to begin, as he sat behind David Wesley and Eddie Jones at the guard positions. But health-wise, he was okay playing all 82 games, something he'd managed to do for the first 3 years of his career, but would only do one time ever since. After increasing his role and minutes with the Hornets, he became an All-Star in 2002, replacing injured Vince Carter, but the very next season began to deal with back problems that turned into knee problems that eventually became hip and ankle issues before he was traded to the Golden State Warriors in 2005. By that time, he was a 2-time All-Star and had the sickest combination of strength, speed, and athleticism I'd seen up to that point, all while dealing with a plethora of injuries. In 05-06, he missed 30 games, ending his season with an ankle injury, then missed more time during the We Believe 06-07 season with hamstring, back, hip, ankle, and knee injuries, and was still able to lead the team to the playoffs and pull off this classic poster on Karolinko.
A lot of good things will happen, not just with him scoring, but then also it opened up. Oh, man! Hello!
There, as he raises his jersey in celebration, you can see the back brace that helped him stay on the floor, and it illustrates exactly the career he wound up having. Braced up and never at full strength. His career fittingly ended the same way it began, with him being injured once again. This time, he wasn't able to bounce back and had to instead retire at just 32 years old. In Game 4 of the 2012 NBA playoffs against the Miami Heat, Davis went down with an apparent knee injury, and after closer examination, his kneecap seemed to pop out of place as he grabbed his leg in pain. A partial tear of the patella tendon in his right knee, and complete tears of the right ACL and MCL were the final diagnosis, as Barron was finally done fighting his body to play a sport he loved. Stunt number 2, not so good teams. Another reason some say Davis didn't have the career he was expected to was because for the most part during his playing career, he wasn't able to lead a team to playoff success, as he never made it past the second round as the leader of the team and missed the playoffs altogether for large portions of his career. Although he was most certainly one of the best point guards in the NBA, specifically in his time with the Hornets, for his 13 seasons in the league, he's made the playoffs 7 times, which isn't at all bad when you only look at making it as the accomplishment. But not at least reaching the conference finals will forever stain his growth when you compare him to other point guards of his generation. Although he couldn't choose the team that drafted him or how his body would hold up, on paper, many always point to that as a growth stunt in his career, and I get it. Stunt number 3. Honestly, Baron Davis had no other stunts in his growth. Other than him getting injured throughout his career and not taking his teams deep into the playoffs, he was an amazing player that, like mentioned, was still able to achieve all the success you could want, considering all he had to overcome. At every level, he was a great player, and as a kid watching him play, outside Allen Iverson and maybe Steve Francis, Baron Davis was that guy for me that I tried to take a lot from. His creativity passing the ball and some of the moves he made were just amazing he could think that way in such quick seconds. You can maybe say him becoming sort of a journeyman was a stunt, but that was all after the injuries and didn't play too big of a role in the outcome. All in all, Baron Davis was a great player that if not for the injuries, I really think he would have been one of the best point guards to ever play. He had everything: size, athleticism, speed, savvy, toughness, and he was one of the best leaders you could want at point guard. As a basketball player, he's still a legend in my eyes, and I think many would agree. But for these reasons, some say his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and I'm out.